Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Chavi. Turn on the videos, children, now. Hmm. So in the last class, I think we have discussed about the stomach and we have completed that part where we discussed about the pepsin and we discussed about the mucus also. Why are they important? Now going forward to the next one, which is the liver. So liver and pancreas, two glands are there. Now what are glands? They are basically the kind of organ which are present in our body and they produce some
Ma'am,
kind of the chemical. Yeah, tell me, Rushika.
ma'am,
Good evening. Sir.
before going, I have a doubt in stomach.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, I didn't understand what's exactly meant by pepsin, ma'am.
Pepsin is a kind of the protein molecule which is present in the big amount actually. The larger size of it is present. But when it gets connected with the hydrochloric acid, it gets break down into smaller molecule of it. Now, when it gets break down into smaller molecule, then what happens? Easily our body can use it. It can absorb it. So that is what the pepsin will be doing. So it will break down the bigger molecule of the protein into the smaller molecule of the protein so that it can be used by the body.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Huh. So today's topic is little complicated, children, though it is not given much in your book. But I'll be teaching you in such a way that when you come to the grade 8, 9, 10, all those things should be there now in the grade 7 actually. Fine. So don't look here and there and don't think about any other thing while this topic is going on. Two things are there, liver and pancreas. Before going into the main thing, what are liver and what are pancreas, we should understand first of all what are gland and the types of it. Okay. When we talk about the gland, they are basically the kind of organ like stomach we have, like we have the liver also, we have the pancreas also. But what happened when we talk about the liver and just a minute, just a minute. Yes. So, hmm. hmm. Now, what happened? The gland, when we talk about the gland, they are basically the organ. These organs, they will be producing, some of them will be producing the kind of the chemical, some of them will be producing the kind of the juices, some of them will be producing the kind of the enzyme, and some of them will be actually, producing the hormone. Hormones are nothing but the chemical kind of the secretion which is being produced. Now, two things are there, either inside the body, either outside the body, we can see their effect. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example now. When we do heavy exercise, what do? We can see the result of it, right? We can see the sweat outside the body, right? So on the skin, we can feel the sweat. We can touch it, we can feel it, correct? Now, that is also that is why it is happening. Why it is happening? It is happening because of the gland. Inside our body, we have the gland. Those gland, what they are doing, they are producing that kind of the sweat, and that sweat through the form of the tube, it is coming on our skin. The second example is the oil. Like nighttime we are sleeping, right? But morning time when we get up, we can find so much of the sweat, so much of the oil will be there around the nose and ear. Correct? Have you felt that?
Like there are so many people who have oily skin. They say.
Oily skin also, but if not the oily skin also, but in the night time, what happened? The production of the oil happens in a high amount in everybody's body, especially in the T region. Now, what is T region? T region is this one, the forehead and the nose. This is called as the T region. So when we sleep in the next day, when we get up, we can find that a lot of oil will be accumulated in this T region. So forehead and especially the nose part of it will have a lot of oil. Now, that oil we can touch, we can remove like this, we can just wipe it, something we can do, right? So, that is also happening because of the gland. So, oil glands are there. That gland will produce the oil. That oil from like through the help of the tube, it will come outside our body, which we can see here over the nose. Clear? So this is one of the type of the gland which is known as the exocrine gland, where we can see the result or the impact of it outside the body. The second type of the gland is there that is called as the endocrine gland, whose result you cannot see outside the body. Do you have any idea what can be the
Blood,
example?
blood is
No, blood
also
is not the gland. Blood is
um,
not the gland. Gland, salivary gland. Okay, salivary gland, the result of it. Can you see it outside the body? No, it is there inside the body. Correct? So whatever the result which is happening, that is there only inside, not reflecting outside. The another example of it, I think you might have heard now, you all are grown up also. In the males and the females also, different body structure will be there, right? So in the male, they will have a different kinds of the gland. One gland will be different in them, which is the basically in the form of the gamete, which is called as the sperm. Same way in the female also, they will have the kind of the gamete, which is called as the ovum. Now, both of the male and female, what do? They produces a different hormone, and those hormones result can we see outside? No, we cannot see it outside. So everything, what is happening, that's happening inside the body. I think how many of you know about the menstrual cycle? I think you might be knowing now.
I have heard it, ma'am, and I know the basics.
Nishika, Snehal, turn on the video. Charvi, I think you know it. Trilokya, Joshika. Himang, do you know what is menstrual cycle?
No, ma'am.
I think girls might be knowing it, correct? Is there anyone who does not know it, right? I'll tell you. So, see, I am not the teacher who does not, like to talk about all these things. We all are adults. We should know all these things. Fine. So everybody has brother, everybody has sister. You should know so that you can guide the others also how to go ahead with it. Uh, when we talk about the menstrual cycle, it happens only in the female. In every month, the female, when they attain the puberty, and puberty age is somewhere like 11 and 12 years. So when the girls reaches to the age of the 11 and the 12, what happens? Certainly, there will be kind of the hormonal changes. Now, hormones, which is being produced inside the body of the female, those hormones, they started showing the changes. Now, because of those changes only, which is the kind of the endocrine gland, their result we cannot see outside. We can just feel it inside. Okay. So what happened every month in the body of the female, the egg formation will be there. That egg formation, I two conditions are there in the formation of the egg in female. The first condition is that it has to fertilize. Now, I think you might not be knowing what is fertilization. Let me explain you that. Fertilization means sexual intercourse, actually. The male and the female should have the sexual intercourse, which is not possible, right? So after the marriage only it is possible. So first condition, it is not happening at all when the kids are small. Until they are not married, the first condition is not possible. So two conditions. The first condition is that egg has to get fertilized, which is not possible. It is only possible after the marriage. The second condition is that if it is not being fertilized, that egg, what do they do? After the 28 days, that egg will go to the uterus, and then the uterus lining, uterus means is a part of the female, okay? The private part of the female. So when that reaches to the uterus part of the female, the lining means the cover of that uterus will shed off. Okay, like we have the skin. If I remove the skin, what is that? That is shedding only, right? So same way, the uterus lining also will remove. And as soon as the uterus lining get removed, from that area, the blood starts coming out. And that happens almost like, depending upon girl to girl, it happens in this age, in your age, it happens somewhere for 5 to 7 days. But as we grow after the marriage and all, it get reduced to the 3 and 2 days also. And first day, second day, the flow of the blood will be more, but slowly and gradually, what happened? That layer which I'm talking about, the uterus lining layer, starts forming again. And when that layer starts forming again, the blood starts getting stopped. Clear? So two conditions were there. The first condition is there, egg should get fertilized, which is not possible. Second condition, when it is not fertilized, in after every 28 days, it will go to the uterus and the lining of the uterus will break down. And because of that, the flow of the blood will be there continuously for some days. Initially, 2 days, 3 days, the flow of the blood will be more, but slowly and gradually, that uterus will start forming the line again. And that is how, after 7 days, the bleeding from that private part will stop it. You might have seen the ad also, children, the whisper ad or those kind of, the napkins ad kind of things and all. So those are for that reason only. Now, that will stop. So that is happening, that menstrual cycle, this whole process of menstrual cycle is happening in the female because of these hormonal changes only, because of these endocrine gland only, which is present in our body. But we cannot actually feel it, right? We cannot see. It's happening in our body automatically because of our food. Now, see what happens nowadays. The main reason of girls getting this menstrual cycle at early age is because of the food habit what we are eating right now. Correct. Earlier, when in my maybe it's your grandparents' time or your parents' mother time and all, that time they used to get the menstrual cycle only by the age of 15, 16 and all. But nowadays, the girl of the age 10, 11, 9 also, in fact, they are getting the menstrual cycle very soon. And it is not easy task, children. It is not easy task. I think girls might be knowing how difficult, complicated it is because severe pain will be there, severe cramp will be there during that time, the mood change will be there, we start crying actually badly. So all those, the things will be happening in the body of the female, and ultimately a sufferance will be there. So all these things are related to what? They are related to the hormones, and the hormones are related to the gland. So the first gland where you can see the result, like in the case of the sweat gland and the oil gland, you can find the both sweat and the oil outside the body and you can touch it, you can feel it. The second gland where you cannot see the result, and the result will be only inside the body where you cannot touch it. That is what it is called as endocrine glands. Clear? So glands are the organ which will be producing the juice, enzymes, hormones. So these all things will be produced by them. Exocrine gland, they will always produce the juice or the enzyme, and the endocrine gland will always produce the hormone. That is what I have given you the example. The other example, other thing, if I have to tell you to be very clear with you all, is that you might have seen, like, as you're growing now, you are in the age of the adolescence, or I can say you all are the teenager, correct? Now, as a teenager, you might have felt the changes in yourself also. Like in the case of the boys or in the case of the girls also, you might have seen, like in the private part, the formation of the hairs will be there, right? The hairs will start coming out in the private area of the female and the males and all. If not, then slowly and gradually by in a year or two, you will be getting, the hairs on the body, the private part especially. Then for the boys, the beard, the mustache will start coming out. Then the girls, the breast will, enlarge in. So all those changes will be happening in the body. So that happens because of what? Because of the hormones. That is the endocrine gland. So these glands are there in our body. They are doing this result. Now, if you really wanted that, it has to be in a controlled way. It has to be in the positive way. For that reason, what we need to do is few things we need to take care, especially at your age when you have just started, entering into the age of the teenage. Wherein the first thing is that the washing of the face. So as you have entered, now what happened? The problem of getting the acne pimple at this age will start increasing. So you should always, keep on washing your face generally after 3 to 4 hours. So face, if I say that you have to wash the face, it does not mean tuck, 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 you have to, rub it, scrub it, all those things, nothing to do that. Just take the water in your hand, then spill it like this. That's it. And then through the tapping method, you have to wipe it. That's it. So what happened? Whatever the oil has been come, throughout the day, it will go after every 3 to 4 hours. And the face will not get any kind of the pimple or the acne. The second thing is during the time of the puberty or during the time of the menstrual cycle, the girls have to be very very careful that they have to change their napkin after every 5 to 6 hours. Third thing, taking the bath on daily basis. It should not be one day you're taking bath and next day, oh no, I should not take the bath, because it caused the problem actually in the body. Though we cannot realize it, but yes, certainly it happens. See what happened in our area in Delhi side. It is like very cold, during the winter time. It is very very cold, and I think I can't remember, not even a single day. It was not like I did not took bath actually. So for me, it is like bathing is very 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 important. Without and morning when I get up, my first task will be this only. I'll just go and take bath. I do not do anything else. I do not go to anywhere else. I'll just go to the washroom. I take this bath. So that is like, the basic thing we should do. Then the third thing is clothes. Whatever the clothes you are wearing, you have to change it. It should not be, the same kind of the clothes you are wearing the next day also, the next day also. Then what happened? Though you feel like they are clean and all, but certainly what happened? The germs from your body might have attached to that certain cloth, and the next day when again you're wearing, those germs will enter into your body and they start creating the negative impact on the body. So such kind of the things have to be avoided. Okay. Eating good food, very, very important. The green leafy vegetable at this age is very important to have the proper growth and the development at your age. Fine. So that is what is related to the glands, and glands is now related to the liver. So that is how I have started now. I could have gone directly to the liver and pancreas and explained those topics, but these are important because until unless you do not know what is endocrine and exocrine, you will not be able to, get those things. Now here, one more thing is there. As I told you, exocrine gland, the result we can see outside the body, how? Through a tube, right? So inside the body, we have the gland, and that gland is connected to the tube. And through the tube, now the outside result will be visible. That is why the exocrine gland is also called as tube gland or duct, duct, duct gland. Duct means tube. Okay, so tube gland or duct gland. Whereas in the case of the endocrine, can we see the result outside? No. So what we should call them as tubeless gland or ductless gland, because they do not have the tube, they do not have the duct. That is why they are called as ductless gland. Now, this exocrine gland, what do? They will be helping us in the part of the digestion and all. So whatever the digestion is happening, there they will be helping. Whereas the endocrine gland, they actually control the body functioning, like the growth. So because of that growth hormone, I think you might not be knowing, but in our body, we have a hormone by the name called as growth hormone. So that growth hormone only decides, how much of the height we have to increase. And once we reach the age of 18 or 19, the height does not grow. All those things you might be knowing, right? So that is because of the growth hormone which we have in our body and because of which we are growing. And that growth hormone is nothing but that is the endocrine gland where we actually, the result will be there inside the body. Clear? So these are the two types of the glands majorly, but now they are further divided into the liver and pancreas. Now, when we talk about the liver and the pancreas, in the case of the liver, it is a kind of the exocrine gland. Now, why is it so?
Ma'am, we can't see the outside one. I mean, we can't see it, right, ma'am?
We can't. My question is that why the liver is considered as the exocrine gland? Think. Think, children. Why the liver is considered as the exocrine gland? Correct.
And then, ma'am, you forgot on what bile juices works, ma'am.
Okay, see, I'll tell you. See, now First thing I told you, the result will be outside the body or inside the body. Second thing is that where we can identify that, no, Charvi, no. Second thing is that where we identify whether it is exocrine or endocrine gland is that according to their production. I told you the exocrine gland, what they should produce? They should produce the juices and they should produce the enzyme. And the endocrine, what they should produce? The hormone. Now, Shreyansh, you have said they produce the bile juice. Now, bile juice is what?
The digestion and then
Bile juice is a kind of the juice basically, which is what exocrine gland will be producing. That is why it is considered as the exocrine gland. Okay, again, I'm repeating, the liver is considered as the exocrine gland because they make the juice called as a bile juice. Now, second thing why it is called as exocrine gland, because when they produce the bile juice, that bile juice, they will be transferring through the duct. Okay, they will be transferring through the duct. Duct means tube. Through the tube, they will be transferring that bile juice into the small intestine for the further digestion process. So what is happening in one part, which is the liver, they are producing it, but where they are showing the impact? Through the tube, they are showing and giving the impact on the small intestine. Whereas in the case of the endocrine, where they release the hormones directly into the blood. In the exocrine gland, the blood is not involved, whereas in the endocrine gland, the blood is involved. So that is how, in the case of the liver, the first point is that it is considered as exocrine gland because they produce the juice called as bile juice. The second reason is that through the tube, they will be transferring that bile juice to the small intestine. Fine. Then third thing, they are not releasing any kind of the juice into the blood. And the fourth thing, no hormones are being produced in this liver. So liver does not produce any kind of the hormone. So that is why it is considered as exocrine gland. Clear?
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
hormones are only present in glands.
Yes. In the category of the hormones, see what happened. Though we say that they are produced at a particular place, but they will go and show their result at somewhere else. Let me explain this topic in the other way. Okay. See, what happened? I want to write a letter. Okay, I'm writing a letter. All right. Now that letter I'm writing for Joshika, and what I did is I have posted those letter into the post office, and now postmen, what they are doing, they are taking my letter and then they are transferring it to the Joshika. So what happened in this case? Whatever the letter was there, it was actually present, it was actually made it, or it was actually written at the different site, different place. And where it was read, to whom it was reached, was a different part, right? Which is Joshika. Same way, the hormones, though they are produced in the gland at a certain place or a certain site, but they show their result going somewhere else. And how do they go? They go through the medium of the blood in our body. Got it? So that is how whatever the hormonal changes are happening, it is happening through the blood. So they will be producing at some other place, but they will be showing the result at some other place. So the place where they are produced, they are called as production site. The place where they reach and they show their impact, it is called as target site. Clear? Am I clear, Snehal, Trailokya, Joshika, Himang, Charvi, Nishika, Shreyansh?
Yes, ma'am.
See, very interesting topics, all these are very, very interesting topic. But yes, certainly we should have so much of time to understand all these things. So it was nothing actually. I should have directly started with liver, but certainly I've explained all these things and time has gone like this. So hormones are also very important part of it, which you will be learning in a very, very depth way about each and every hormone, in a year or two.
Ma'am, our life is too short to just to know about our body, ma'am.
And it's interesting also when we understand about our own body. See, one of the hormone is like the melatonin. Melatonin is the name of the hormone. What happened? It actually regulates the sleep cycle. Now, some of you sleeps more, some of you sleeps less. That is not, no, it's not about you. You feel it. That
Huh?
you should sleep. Huh?
I heard somewhere that after drinking coffee, the caffeine gets replaced from that, like ma'am, what you were talking about,
Melatonin. Melatonin
melatonin.
hormone.
Yes, ma'am. The caffeine replaces, and that's why we don't get sleep for something.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it happens. So if I am crying, if I am laughing, that is not because I wanted to do that. It's actually because of the hormone which is
Hormones
there
are
in our
laughing
body
hormones.
and which is making that. We are watching the horror movie, we are getting scared. It is not naturally I wanted to get scared. It's because of the hormone which is making us do that. So each and everything in our body is actually the hormone who is making us to do it. So during the time of the menstrual cycle, these hormones will change a much. Because of that, we sometimes get hyperactive, and sometimes we will be like, no, we should not talk to anyone, or no one should come and talk to us. Correct. So life is not easy, especially for the girls. Really, it is not easy because we have to, have every month the same problem, and every month the same kind of the pain, suffering should be there. So yeah, some the brothers, the fathers, sometimes the mothers also, they help us coming out all those during 3 days or 4 days, whatever it is. Okay, so the liver is actually the largest gland. So whatever the glands are there in our body, the liver is the largest gland which is present. And what does the liver will be doing? The liver, they produce the bile juice, which is actually the exocrine gland. And this bile juice, they will be helping to break down the bigger molecule of the fats into the smaller molecules of the fats. Like if I have to start again, I will be saying in the case of the mouth, the saliva was there, right? In the case of the saliva, the starch was breaking down into the sugar, correct? So bigger molecule of starch into a smaller molecule of sugar. Now going to the next part where the stomach we have discussed, through the pepsin, the bigger molecule of protein will break down into a smaller molecule of protein. So one place starch, the second place protein. Now this is third place where what is happening? The fat is breaking down into it. Correct? This is third nutrient which is getting break down. So whatever the larger molecules of fats are there in our body, they will get break down into the smaller molecules of the fat. And such process where the larger molecules of fats gets break down into smaller molecules of fat, that is called as emulsification of fat. It is called as emulsification. Let me write in the chat. Mm, It is called as emulsification. Why it is called as emulsification of fat, where the bigger molecule or the larger molecules of the fats will break down into the smaller molecule of fat. Got it, children? So this is how, see, step by step we have come from the saliva to the stomach pepsin and now to the liver where the bile juice is there. This was the first function of the bile juice, what they will be doing. Now, second function is that they are medium. In the stomach, what was the medium? The acidic or the alkaline?
Ma'am, acidic.
Acidic, right, ma'am, right. Now, in the bile juice, what happened? The medium is the alkaline. It is the alkaline medium. Now, because of the alkaline medium, why this bile juice have the alkaline medium? So that when they go to the next step, which is the pancreas, in the pancreas, whatever the enzymes are there, they do not require the acidic medium. They require the alkaline medium. That is why automatically in our body, the liver has what? The alkaline medium, so that the pancreatic enzymes, they can work on it and they can convert themselves into the smaller molecules of the different components.
What is alkaline medium?
Alkaline medium is basically the base.
Okay.
So acid base you will have, right? The neutral
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
talking about. So stomach has the acid basically, and the bile juice has the alkaline medium where it means the base. So because of this, both the things where they are present in the different part of the body, we have the neutralization process which happens in the body.
Yes.
Clear, children? So any doubts in here? Any doubt, any one of you?
No, ma'am.
No. So that is about the liver. Now, from the liver, it goes to the other part, which is called as the pancreas. I think you might have heard about the pancreas. Correct? Now,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
kind of the gland pancreas is? Endocrine or exocrine?
Ma'am, I think endo.
Even
Endo.
I think endo.
Okay. Then, Himank, any idea? Snehal?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Trilokya, Snehal? Wrong is also okay for me. No. Nishika, why your video is off? Chavi, why your video is off? Any idea about this? I'll tell you. They are both. They are the exocrine also, they are the endocrine also. And that is the reason the pancreas is called as the dual gland. Dual means two. D-U-A-L, dual gland.
Ma'am, I
Okay,
heard it, ma'am.
yes, it is important also in your higher classes, is very, very important. So liver is the exocrine gland, the pancreas is the dual gland because it is a mixture of both the glands, endo also, exo also. Now, the reason why it is exocrine gland because they produce the enzyme. Fine. So they will be producing the enzyme and they will be releasing those enzymes through the tube. That is why they are called as the exocrine gland. Now, why they are called the endocrine gland? Because it's released in the blood. And the name of the hormone, I think you might have heard also, insulin. I think you might have heard insulin word.
Yes, ma'am.
So insulin is also the hormone which is actually, produced by the pancreas. So see what is happening. The pancreas is doing both the things. They are producing the enzyme also. They are transferring them into the blood through the duct also. At the same time, they are producing the hormones, which are actually the insulin, and they also get released in the blood. So enzymes they have the hormones. So since they have both, they are called as a dual gland. Yes, Shransh, tell me.
Ma'am, what is the job of insulin, ma'am? What is?
Insulin, they will reduce the blood level in our body.
Oh,
So those people who have actually the diabetes, what do? They will have the high amount of the sugar in their body.
yes,
So
ma'am.
that high amount of the sugar has to lower down. So automatically when insulin is not being produced in the body, so in that case, the doctors will be giving them the injection. Through those injection, the insulin injection we call them as. So as soon as they get that insulin injection, the level of that sugar will goes down in the body of the person. So that is how the level of the sugar will be maintained. Otherwise, it will be high in them.
Ma'am, I have heard that it is not so good to take the insulin injection.
Yes, actually, certainly. See, injections are not at all good. And talking about the insulin, what happened if once you start taking the injection of the insulin, then body will get addicted to it.
Yes, ma'am, like inhaler also, ma'am.
Yes. So it's like, when you're watching the Facebook, when you're scrolling the Facebook, you start doing it and it will be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours continuously without even seeing. When we ask the kids to read the book, we will be watching the time, but scrolling the Facebook, we do not watch the time, right? Same way, the insulin is actually a kind of addiction. When the person they start taking the insulin, they do not want it, but certainly there is no other option for them. Either they should change their food habit, or either they should take the medicine. But medicine takes time actually, to bring it down. That is the reason insulin will help them to do it. Do that. Got it? So that is why the pancreas is considered as both the exocrine and the endocrine gland also. It is called as the dual gland, D-U-A-L, dual gland. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
But now what happened? This liver and pancreas, generally, they are not the part of the digestive system, but they are important for it. Now, why is they are not being considered, the liver and the pancreas not being considered as a part of it? It is because they are not connected to the tube. So if you see the diagram of the human digestive system, it starts from the mouth and it ends to the anus. But these liver and the pancreas, just imagine. When you have two naughty kids, you will be getting this kind of sounds only. They're actually giving me a reminder that you should come out. So, where I was?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. You were talking about the food, like from
Yes, yes,
digestive
yes, yes.
pathway.
So what happens? See, the mouth it starts with and it ends with the anus. So through a pipe, actually, a kind of the pipe is connected through all those mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, then rectum and anus. But this liver and the pancreas, they are the side part of it. They are though connected, but they are not connected to the tube. But that is the reason we are not considering them as a part of the digestive system because they are not the tube-like structure. But they are important because they have the enzymes involved in them which help in the digestion. For example, liver. If I talk about the liver has the bile juice, right? That bile juice, what they're doing, they're breaking down the fats. Now imagine if the bile juice is not there, the liver is not there, the bile juice is not there. Now in that case, the fat will not get break down, and the fat does not get break down. The complete deposition of the fats will be there on the arteries, right? So we have the arteries in our body. Those arteries, inside the arteries, the fats will go. Do you know what are arteries? No. Joshika is saying no.
Ma'am, it's like a veins.
Veins are different, arteries are different. Both are the blood vessels. You are actually correct, but they are different in the different ways. Arteries and veins, capillaries, they are the blood vessels who takes or who carries the blood. So arteries, they will be carrying the oxygenated blood. The veins, they will be carrying the deoxygenated blood.
Yes.
Oxygenated blood means the blood rich in oxygen. Deoxygenated blood means the blood rich in the carbon dioxide. Okay, so that is how they are related. Now, if this liver is not there, the bile juice will not be there. If the bile juice is not there, the fats will not break down. If the fats does not break down, in that case, the fats will go and get accumulate in the fats will get accumulate in the center part of the arteries. Now, if I say center part of the artery, for example, now I have a box like this, okay? Here you can see, suppose this is the artery, the whole tube is the artery. Okay. Now, if fat is not breaking down, what happens? Whatever the fats we are taking in our body, that will go and get collected inside. That is what is happening when we are taking a lot of cholesterol, right? So when we take a lot of cholesterol and when the lot of the fats are there, it goes into the arteries and inside the arteries like this, they get surrounded. Now you tell me, it is good if they get, into the arteries. Is this good?
No, ma'am, it will stop the blood flow.
Very good, Himank. Yes. So as soon as the deposition of the cholesterol or the fat happens inside the arteries, now who will be taking that oxygenated blood? Who will be carrying it? No one.
No one.
That is the reason sometimes the people they get the heart attack or the other certain diseases related to the heart because of the high cholesterol or because of the blockage of these arteries in their body.
So when the
So
blood cannot reach the heart.
yes, it cannot actually, it cannot reach. So that is why the liver and pancreas, though they are not connected directly through those tube of the alimentary canal, but they are equally important for the process of the digestion in the humans. Clear? So many things we have discussed today, but still we have to, do the writing part and all. Maybe in the next class we'll do that. And I just want you to actually once again go through the recording of this class, especially because so many different terms we have discussed
Yes,
today,
ma'am.
and we have not written anything. So might be the chances are there that you might forget the things in another week.
Yes.
So maybe today you will be getting the recording. Tomorrow you just go through it once again so that you
Okay.
can revise the what are glands, the types of the gland, the examples of the gland. Then you can also revise the liver, the pancreas,
The
why it is
function
formed.
of the
Yes. Fine. So just do that. Take out somewhere 30, 35 or 40 minutes, or maybe at a high speed also you can see that. No problem. But I just want you to revise it again since we did not write anything.
Yes.
Okay. Because once you revise it, very much confident over the thing, and you can, you will be knowing in the next class in a better way what things we have discussed and how to go about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope I am not going too much. You all can understand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think this is needed. We should not go only for the basic thing and all. Many things.
It will help in higher grades.
And still, there is a topic also in the liver that liver is called as chemical factory, liver is called as detox factory. Why it is called those chemical and detox factory? So many other things are also there. But let me complete these major things, then we'll go a little to that part again.
Each part will take 1 day to understand.
It will take actually. It's a very, very
Definitely.
depth thing. In the liver, also so many different parts are there. In the pancreas, also so many different parts are there.
Yes.
Okay, children, then thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye
Have a nice
bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Bye. Bye.